It is for Paul.
Or is it just for
Hey,
Paul?
we're live.
Hey, there we are.
Episode 218. So, welcome back to episode 218 of the Guide and Guns podcast. I'm your host, Troy.
And I'm your other host, Doug.
We use this podcast to talk about God, guns, and the responsible Christian gun owners' interests. In this show, we'll be talking about our recent trip to Georgia. Well, wasn't that far of a trip for Doug, but to the Iraqi Veteran 8888 Range Day 2018.
Oh, big fun.
It was fun. Our main sponsor, Farms Radio Network. We want to thank them, the guys over there at the Farmers Radio Network, which are us and them and everybody else. we are all Farmers Radio Network.
We
also
are.
want to thank who?
Crossbreed holsters. Like we said, if you're carrying a gun, carry it in a crossbreed. Check them out. Crossbreedholsters.com. Carry the cross.
Carrying the cross. All right, this week's God and gun activities. Doug, what have you been up to?
See, on the God side, I've been doing my daily devotionals. This past Sunday, our weather wasn't real swell around here, so
Hey, little rain stuff down that way.
it had been. It was,
Trees blow over.
I didn't get no trees down. We went right through Hurricane Michael. I think it was Michael, what his name was. Once it left the Florida coast, it blew straight through and up through Georgia. I mean, it came right over us.
It was moving when it went past you guys too.
It was getting it. It was had picked up a lot of speed and was gone. And man, my heart goes out to the folks down because Mexico Beach, Florida, Panama City got hit pretty hard. Tyndall Air Force Base is just destroyed. I mean,
oh really?
Oh yeah, I think I saw a thing on the news the other day. They were talking about it, and they said they didn't have a single building that was inhabitable right now. So they got hammered pretty hard. And I was telling my wife, I would have stuck it out probably too. My wife was down there in Florida. She was closer to Destin, so they were on the western side of the hurricane as it came through. So they lost power for a little bit. She got power back in Florida before I did here in Georgia. I was out for about 19 hours here.
Wow.
And but a lot of wind. We didn't get quite as much rain as I thought we would. It filled my pond back up, but it rained hard for a little bit, and then it just kind of slacked off and blew right on out. So I was glad to see it go.
Good deal. That's all your God guns?
Let's see, what else have I done? Of course, Iraqi Vet 8888 Range Day, man, what a blast!
Yep. That was fun.
We got to hang out with our buddies that we haven't seen in a while, and shoot a lot of guns, and it was fun.
Yeah.
Let's see
what
what
talk more about it in a minute.
We will. Deer season, full swing down here in Georgia. So I've been black powder hunting here the last week. Right, black powder came in this past week, and so it's been in. Regular rifle season comes in Saturday, and I should bag one. I got one of my trail cameras I have posted out at an undisclosed location. I think I have 7 different bucks, as Ron says. There you go, Ron. I got 7 different bucks on camera, and 3 of them are just studs. I mean, they're nice. They're wall hangers in anybody's book. So I'm going to try to see if I can bag one Saturday. We'll see. And I did clean a few guns this week. I was digging through some boxes and looking for stuff, and found my gun cleaning kits and my frog lube and all the good stuff. And so I got to clean up a few guns. So that was fun.
Good deal.
What you been up to?
Let's see. Last Sunday I served at church as security. The guy was supposed to show up didn't show up. So I don't know what happened. I think he was hurt or sick or had to get in a deer stand or something. But I served Sunday, and let's see. Since I've been back from Florida, I've been helping my parents with some other things, getting some tax stuff wrapped up, and just laundry list of things. And then my own to-do list here has been, I've been in Florida 4 times this year already, 4 or 5. So my to-do list is longer than both legs and 3 elbows. But it's I've been whittling on it. Well, I've been hacking at it pretty good. been using the big axe trying to knock some stuff down. But we got a whole lot of stuff to get done. So just a lot of personal stuff, just taking care of a lot of things. Gunner and I went over and did a neighborly thing and mowed our neighbor's yard. His wife has been in the hospital, some medical condition issues, and just trying to help him out. So we did that today. I've got to build a fire pit before next Friday because my daughter's having a Halloween / harvest party or some sort, and she's got all these things she wants to do. So that's
Which one?
Daphne.
Oh, Daphne.
Well, they're both girls are going together, both inviting their friends, and Gunner's invited I think one or two of his friends. So they've been working hard and getting everything ready, and they're like, "We want a fire pit." So I'm like, "Okay." They put it on my list, so hopefully get that knocked out soon.
Cut them off a 50-gallon drum.
What's that?
Cut a 50-gallon drum in half and tell them there's your pit.
Yeah, I think they want something we can sit around.
They can sit around that.
Spit on the side of it, their tobacco juice.
That's it.
Let's see. And my list is huge here. I'm just trying to read through my notes. I just bunch of stuff with family, right? Trying to wrap that up. Hopefully, be able to get back to some things that I'd planned on doing. On the gun side, daily concealed carry. I open carry most of the time when I'm here at home, but if I'm out anywhere, it's concealed. Of course, the Rocky Veteran shoot we just did last week. I found the spot. I'm going to build my new pistol carbine range. I had planned on putting it in that old dried up pond, but it's been raining like ever since I moved here, and so that pond's never been dry since I moved. Since I planned to put it there.
Now you got a pond again.
I've got a pond again. Yeah, it's not even really useful as a pond because it's not anywhere where we're going to put kettle at. But I guess if it holds water much longer, it'll be stocked because the cranes always are stocking ponds and stuff. Let's see what else. Oh, trying to get a date set for one of my friends here in Kentucky is an instructor with Bulwarks, and he said he would do a private training. I wanted to go to the carbine class that they had. They had two of them. One time I was in Wyoming, the other time I was in Florida taking care of mom and dad. So I missed both the classes. He said, "Well, I can come over and do that at your farm there." I was like, "Oh, okay." So I'm gonna have the whole family. I've got 4 AR carbines. I need to build one for Audrey. I might just give her a 22 AR. I got a 22 AR. But we're going to do I want to do a carbine day and a handgun day, and have them back to back. And with just 5 of us, maybe a couple of neighbors might want to join us or something. No more than 5 to 7, 5 to 8, something like that. He should be able to run the class pretty good. I know how to operate a carbine. I know how to run it, work an AR, of course. But as far as running it like military style, I don't know how to do that. I know how to use the sights. I know how to operate and do all the functions of the AR. But as far as how to properly use one as a military trains, I don't know that. And he's a military trainer, so he said he'd come over here and do that for us for a class. So I'm trying to work a date out for that, trying to get the class, trying to get the range built so he can do that. So I've got to get busy on that before it gets too cold to do it. It's already gotten cold here. Last week it was in the 80s, upper 80s, and this week it's in the 50s and the 30s at night.
We haven't quite got that cold here yet. It's
it's got cold here.
Starting Saturday, I think it's supposed to be the high in the 60s, down in the mid upper 40s at night. So hey, I'm good with that too.
Yeah, but you're in the deep south, brother.
I know.
I'm up here on the Mason-Dixon line. We get a little bit colder up here.
I'm just enjoying the cool weather.
Yeah. Yeah, your meat doesn't rot before it hits the ground when you shoot, right?
No.
Let's see, what else we got? I got my International Scout. I got the title to it. He got it when I was in Florida, so when I got back, he went to Florida the day I got back from Florida. He went to Florida with his family on vacation for fall break, and so I had to wait till he got back from Florida, and so I got the title changed over. I guess it was first of last week, and I got my insurance and stuff, and I was going to get tags today. Then I got distracted with a bunch of other stuff, so I'm going to go pick up tags tomorrow, Lord willing, and something else doesn't happen. But I'm excited to get that out on the road, cranking it. So I've got to get a battery for it, and I need to get new coolant, probably some new hoses, the plug wires, and the everything looks good on it. And the tank's new, the floors are new. I need to replace the rocker panels and the sides. They're pretty cheesed up, but they're like $90 a set. And there's a couple of corner brackets that where the automotive guys are sitting there cussing at me, I'm sure. But right there at the corner of the doors, there's a little triangular piece that you can buy, and they cost more than the rocker panels do. So I guess they got more meat and work into them. I gotta get a couple. Probably just going to do all four of them. After that, I mean, it's secure. I keep any water from getting in from the outside. I need to replace the gaskets around the doors and stuff. So I want to get in the garage, but there's still a bunch of stuff from where we moved in that has never gotten out of the garage. So that was what I was wanting to do this afternoon, and I just got in late and tired, and then we were going to record tonight, so put it off till tomorrow.
It's always something.
I know. It's just like all these things jump in and fill gaps that were already full. It's just like, I don't know. It's like I don't have any time anymore. It's just like everything that I have planned to do, someone else has time scheduled for that for me. So now I've gotten a bunch of text right before the show that we need to get fencing done sooner than later. And I'm like, well, we're not buying calves until spring, so I don't understand the need to do it right at this moment. But other people's plans get in my way.
You have time.
You're retired. You got all the time in the world. No, not really. Let's see. Oh, we got men's retreat coming up on the God side. We got men's retreat from men's church retreat. Gunner and I will be going to Saturday night. I think it's going to be in the 30s. So I don't know how much of a retreat it's going to be. It's going to be out in the woods. So we're going to take extra layers and lots of firewood, maybe some gasoline.
Get it roaring.
I don't know if it's an indoor retreat or outdoor retreat. I think they have indoor facilities, but we'll find out. I'm going to be prepared whichever way it is. All right, so our EDC check, since I'm up first, I've been carrying. I told you, I showed you when we met you down for the Rocky Veteran Shoot. I'd switched back to the Glock 30S. So I put the 30S, I put the Surefire light on my 30S, and the reason is because everything I've read, every bit of training I've ever had, states you need to, whichever gun fits your hand properly, and when you point it out, it's dead on. That's the gun you need to be carrying. Well, I tried. I did everything I could to make the 19 be that. And the 19 and the 30S are identical in length and height and everything but the thickness. Thickness is a little thicker on the grip on the 30S. But this gun is just a natural point for me. And the sights just perfectly line. Every time I can close my eyes and point out and open my eyes and they're dead on. And so I've switched back to the 30S because I'm faster at hitting the target on the first shot with this than with the 19. I've tried it. I've tried both of them. And I can find the sights better and I can point right on every time better. And what I'm pointing at is a concrete wall with woods on the other side of it, and nobody's home but me and the dogs. So I'm pointing in a safe direction for you guys that are screaming at the internet. And I've got the Trijicon HD sights on, and I really like them, and I don't know. You can get an RMR cut in it, but these sights are just. I don't have any trouble picking them up at all with that bright orange front sight, and then the tritium front post. And it's got little tritiums in the back, but they don't draw my eye away from that big tritium dot in the front. So I'm really happy with it. I really like the way it shoots. I mean, this is why I went from to go to the 19, and I've been carrying it for it's going on ever since I've been back from Florida, just because it just feels right. Now it still gives me the Glock bump. I don't know if you guys have the Glock bump, but that's the callus I've built up from rubbing the under the trigger guard of the Glocks that I've been shooting since the 90s. So I guess that's just going to be a permanent thing there.
You had a question. Somebody asked, "Is there any issues with going back to the iron sights?"
No, I'm not with these Trijicon HD sights. I mean, I really pick it up just natural, and I shoot iron sights on like everything else. The only thing I have the red dots on are a couple ARs, and that one in the 19 in the 17. I've got a Glock 17. I've got an RMR on, but I never really carried it. I really like the red dot. I like the RMR on the 19. I mean, if I wasn't carrying this, I would be carrying the 19 with the red dot. It's just, but this one just, and it's true, guys. If I took the advice, is just the gun that fits your hand best, you can control, and it has a natural point. When you point it out, it just naturally aims. The only other gun besides this one that just naturally points like that is, well, there's two. The Ruger SP101, that little small 357 Magnum revolver. I carried it for years. I still throw it in my pocket every once in a while. It's just a natural point. I can just point out either single-handed or both hands, and it just the sights are naturally lined up. It just has natural, perfect feel. And the other one is a Glock 20. My original Glock 20 I bought back in 90, whenever the Glock 20s came out. Was it 92, 3, 4, somewhere in there? That's when I first started carrying Glocks, and both of those are just all three of those are just natural guns that point perfectly for me. I'd say that the Kimber had a good natural point, but I just never had good reliability of it. And so that's one of the reasons I traded it for the for the Scout. I traded that Kimber, and I traded Beretta 96 that had like 10 rounds through it. It had been sitting in my safe for years and years and years, and I traded both of those for that Scout. So I feel like I did well. So that's my concealed carry. I carry Glock 21 mags from a backup. The Glock 21 mags fit in the Glock 30S. They hang out just like the 17 mags and the 19 or whatever. But
your Glock 20, that's a 10 millimeter, right?
10 millimeter, yeah. I carried that for years and years and years. I carried a Galco SOB holster right in the middle of the back till I found out that you could get paralyzed doing that. And so then I moved to a hip holster, which was made by Blue Ridge. I think Blue Ridge made it as a handmade holster. It predated it was before Crossbreed ever was around, or I ever heard of them. And I bought it and we carried it. And I had a Galco Miami Classic holster, the shoulder rig. I had two mags on one side and had the Miami rig on the other side. But people were like, "Yeah, you got a live gun pointing everywhere behind you." Like, it's encapsulated in leather and snapped. I mean, it's not going to go off until it does, I guess. But so I quit carrying that one. Only time I carried that was when I was wearing suits when I was selling real estate, or wear a suit, church, or something like that.
Well, so let me know when you're gonna make me a good deal on your 19 with the Suarez slide and everything.
Oh no, I've got 2, 3 19s now. I've been building them too, so I've got one for each of the kids. So they're all gonna have a Glock 19. I think it's a perfect gun for for entry level, learn how to shoot. It's the right size. They can carry it. It's the right size. You can sit on the bedstand. It's perfectly accurate for a pistol. I mean, it's got good capacity. Uh, but that way they'll each have a Glock 19, and they'll each have an AR, and they've all got, hey, there's your 19. Hey,
There.
quit talking.
That's it. That's it. I like it. Of course, I like to carry. I carry the 21 quite a bit too.
Yeah,
So I like it. I like it very well. It's got that natural point, like you was talking about when you come up. It's
right.
just there.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, when you can pull out your holster and point straight out just through their natural, natural movement, and when you lock out, your sights are dead on, straight out, where you're looking. That's what I've read over and over, and what I've been taught in classes and stuff. That you need to find the gun that works for you, that fits your hand, that you can control under fire, and that naturally points and feels, that you can find the sights as soon as you point it out. And so that's what that's what works for me. And I like that 45 round. I mean, I like the 9 millimeters. I mean, the new 9 millimeters. I'm not. They do fine. I mean, the uh, the new ammunition all performs within the same range. I mean, some people, the old timers, will still say, "Well, 45 hole will bleed out faster than 9 millimeter. A 9 millimeter will penetrate further than a 45, and so it causes a bigger wound channel." And I mean, if you hit people where you're supposed to hit people with the bullet, then it's going to do its job.
I don't want to be hit with either one of them, really.
No, I don't want to be hit with either one. I don't think a 45 is going to yank somebody's arm off or anything, but I think it will stop someone. Now, as far as penetrating glass, I'm not a police officer. I'm not going to be shooting through somebody's car window. I don't think there's justification for that unless they're trying to run you down. And then I'm going to be getting behind something. I don't know if I outrun a car anyway, but I'll leave a big dent.
I know, right?
All right, so that's your guide. That's your EDC, my EDC.
Yes, sir.
So we got some feedback then.
We did get some feedback. We have a iTunes 5-star review. Said, love this podcast, and it's by Brother from Massachusetts. So that's pretty cool. He says, hard convictions, soft hearts, short devotionals, long rabbit trails, best friend, worst jokes, light theology, heavy breathing. Love the podcast, guys. Keep up the good work.
The heavy breathing. We got some comments on that. Somebody's breathing heavy. It's driving me crazy.
One of us had our mic too close.
I think you had a cold that week or something. I think it was when you was having you was coughing, you was breathing real deep.
Struggling to breathe.
Yeah. Could have been me. I don't know, but yeah, you get the heavy breathing for free.
Yeah, doesn't cost a thing.
Doesn't cost a thing.
But we do appreciate the review. Troy and I were talking about it just a minute ago. We got a listener in Massachusetts. That's pretty cool.
I know. That's awesome. Behind the enemy lines, man.
They can't have guns. I wasn't sure if they could listen to gun podcasts or not either.
They can have guns. They just can't have like 6 rounds or something. 5 or 6 rounds.
Yeah.
So you got to be a really good shot and carry lots of extra magazines if you live in Massachusetts.
Man, I tell you, I don't know if you've been keeping up. I've been watching our buddy Anthony up in New Jersey, and he's got Ants Rants, every week. But have you seen the stuff that, Evan Knappen, the big attorney up there, has been posting a lot of stuff about the new law that's fixing to pass about the magazine ban.
Mm-hmm.
And if you own one and don't turn it in, you're fixed to be a felon in the state of New Jersey, and no compensation. If you decided you wanted to turn your mag in, which I'm probably like them, I probably wouldn't. I told Anthony, I said, hey man, y'all can send as many as you want to me, and I'll just store them up for you.
I heard one of the proposed laws is that you can't even get rid of it. You got to give it to the police. You can't sell it. You can't ship it out of state. That you're supposed to turn into the police. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
I was like, you got to be kidding me. That's taking your property without compensation. I don't think that's allowed under the law currently. I think that, So that due process that you had to have done something wrong, live in the wrong state, I guess, is what you could be charged with.
It's like where is it? Where would that be legal at? It's not even possible. But they're trying to pass it.
I don't know. I think you guys just box them all up and ship them down here to me and Doug. We'll be all right with them
Mm-hmm.
for now.
We'll hold on to them for you.
Sooner or later, there's going to be a shot heard around the world again. They keep this stuff up. People are going to have enough of this. Tyranny only goes so far until there's revolt or a really bad revolution. All right. Oh, you got a joke?
We do got a joke. This one was sent to us by one of our listeners. Excuse me. It came to us from Josh Krumsky. So Josh, he sent me this the other day, and I thought it was pretty funny. It kind of fits right into my wheelhouse.
It's a blonde joke.
It is a blonde joke, which makes it even better. So,
Krista, are you listening? Tell me a blonde joke, Krista. See if she texts me.
This is not Krista. So two blondes are in a river holding fishing poles with the lines in the water. A game warden comes upon them, taps them on the shoulder and says, "Excuse me, ladies, I'd like to see your fishing license." "We don't have any," replied the first woman. "Well, if you're going to fish, you need a fishing license," said the game warden. "But officer," replied the second girl, "we aren't fishing. All we have is magnets at the end of our line, and we're collecting debris from the bottom of the river." The game warden lifted up one of the lines, and sure enough, there was a big horseshoe magnet tied to the end of the line. He said, "Well, I don't know any law against that," shrugged the game warden. "Take all the debris you want." And that was it, and the game warden left. As soon as he was out of sight, one woman started laughing hysterically. "What a dumb fish cop. Doesn't he know there's steelhead in this river?" I like that one. Thanks, Josh. Hey, if anybody's got any good jokes, the clean ones, which they're hard to come by here lately,
or dirty when you can scrub up real good and clean.
yeah, clean it up a little bit. Yeah.
And not by going bleep and blank and bleep.
Yeah, we don't have a bleep button.
A bleeper. All right. Bible verse this week comes to us from Psalms 119, 10 through 12. "With my whole heart I seek you. Let me not wander from your commandments. I have stored up your word in my heart that I may not sin against you. Blessed are you, O Lord. Teach me your statutes." Again, that's Psalms 119, 10 through 12. And the reason this verse, I know I've quoted this verse or parsed this verse before, or these verses. But people, let me tell you, if you don't read the Bible and put it in your hearts, and I tell you guys this all the time, you don't know right from wrong. God says, "My people perish for lack of knowledge." Lack of knowledge is what God has said. It's not lack of college knowledge. It's not lack of military knowledge, or it may be some history. But if you don't know what's in the Bible, you perish because you don't know what the traps the devil has laid for you. You don't know what sin is. I see these people that are claiming to be Christians saying there's nothing wrong with homosexuality, including the Pope. There's nothing wrong with doing whatever you want to do. But there is. The Bible is very clear. It lays out what sin is. It lays out what God hates and what God loves and what God wants us to be. And so you need to know the scriptures. Is it easy to read the Bible? It's easier now than it ever has been, because there's audio Bible, there's a Bible on your phone, there's a Bible on your computer. You could get tape recordings of Bible. I mean, there's more ways of putting the Word of God in your mind, in your heart, than ever before. So you have no excuse that it's hard, because it's easier than it ever has been. And so listen to it on an audiobook. Pick it up every morning and read it before you brush your teeth, or before you as soon as you go to the bathroom, go wash your hands and go get a Bible and read it for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes, for 15 minutes, as much as you can schedule in, and get your mind right with God every morning. Uh, why this came up is my daughter coming to ask me questions, and I mean, all my children come and ask me questions all the time, and I love that. But my knowledge to be able to tell them the answers comes from the Bible. And so if they read the Bible themselves, they don't have to come to me, which I'm glad they come to me because I point them to the Bible, which you should do to your children. When they come to you with a question, you say, well, the Bible says this. They say, why? And I say, because this is what God says, and this is what he expects of us. And so if you know that in your own heart, if you're a new believer, dig into the Bible. If you're an old believer, dig into the Bible. If you've been in church 90 years, dig into the Bible, because God has something for you in the Bible every time you open it that is going to give you more knowledge. It's going to give you, it helps you to know his heart. And once you know his heart, you can discern, and you can't discern without God's knowledge. You can't divine what is evil and what is not unless you know what God says is evil and what God says is right. And so, as the Bible says, man, the way man thinks in his own heart, he thinks that's right. What he thinks is in his heart, what he believes in his own heart, he thinks is right. God says that way will lead to death, because you don't know what is right until you read what God has said is right. That's just the way it is. So don't create gods in the image of Oprah or in the image of whatever little God you create in your own mind of how you think God should be. Because what you think God should be is not how God is. God is the way he is, and it's the way he is in the Bible. And if you read the whole Bible in its context, which means in that the words that you're reading are understood, that this is who the writer was, this was the experience it was about. And don't take those words out of context and try to apply them to some other parts of your life. You take those words in the whole context of the story so that you understand what led up to this, what this is specifically talking about, who he's talking about, what peoples or what time this is talking about. And so that you incorporate that into the whole message. Don't just go read 2 verses and memorize those and try to apply them. You have to read it in the whole context of the chapter or the whole book of what those words mean. And especially what those words meant at that time. So that's why it's important to have a good translation and not just some translation that tries to make it easier for you to understand in modern English, which may not be a good translation. So that's our verses tonight. Psalms 119, 10 through 12. Anything, Doug?
Nope, you got it pretty good.
All right, simple but short. All right, main topic tonight. Are we getting questions over here on the side? The guys that are listening?
Not since that last one I told you.
Okay. Yeah, you guys have any questions? Throw them out there. Doug might catch them. Looking at a little bit of screen.
Yeah, I'm trying to watch them.
All right, Iraqi Veteran 8888 Range Day. This was the second year I was able to go. I've been invited 3 years. Something came up. I think I blew up a truck or something.
Yeah, we both didn't get to make it last year.
Was it last year? No, I went last year. You didn't go last year.
It was the first year.
No, I was supposed to go the year before that. I think I was supposed to go I missed 2 of the 4 years. So I missed the first 2 years. So something came up, and then the second one, I think my truck had a seizure. And so I ended up my family went to Florida, and I was going to Range Day, and my truck kaputted. So I hopped in the family van and drove to Florida because I was so ticked off. But it was great, though, except for the heat. It was really a great day.
We should have had it this weekend.
Yeah,
it would have been perfect.
Yeah, well, this weekend was this recent weekend was Knob Creek, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't go to Knob Creek because I had a lot more fun in Georgia.
Yeah, it was the first part of the morning was nice, but man, when that sun come up
Mm-hmm.
and the range was facing into the sun as it was coming up, so all the guns are laying on the tables under the awnings and stuff that they had set up, the canopies,
Uh-huh.
and it was just heating them guns up, man. Plus, they were already hot from
Yeah.
shooting them.
Yeah. Were you there when the range caught on fire?
No, that was
That was the second day.
second day.
Yeah.
I saw the video.
Yeah. I was sitting there videoing. They were shooting up everything, blow up tannerite and stuff, and I noticed some smoke, and I turned around and it looked like that's a fire. And so I started hollering, "Ceasefire!" I was trying to get everybody's attention, hollering, "Ceasefire!" because somebody needed to run in there and put that fire out. Because man, it started going quick. I kept hollering ceasefire, and Eric was standing about 10 feet from me, but you couldn't hardly hear me because of the machine guns and all the guns going off. I'm waving my arms, hollering ceasefire and ceasefire, and then everybody else started hearing me say ceasefire, and everybody else started saying ceasefire, and slowly all the gunfire stopped, and one guy went running down through there with a cooler.
I know.
He ran out of the cooler. Yeah, ice water is flying all over the place. He's running out there. I thought he ain't gonna have any water by the time he gets there, but he still had like half of a cooler full of water by the time he got down there.
Hey, that was the guys that ran down to put the fire out. That was the guys from CMMG Triggers that had the cooler down. They were dipping the guns in to cool them off.
Yeah. I thought he ain't gonna have any water left, but he got most of it put out. That between that and everybody stomping it. But what's the guy from that does all the suppressor shows? I forget what his name is. He's out of Florida. He's got a suppressor YouTube channel and machine guns and stuff. I can't remember what his name. Well, he's a fireman. I mean, that's what he does for a living. So he goes running out there, and he goes up the top of it and starts putting it out with the fire extinguisher. They had it out pretty quick though. And then they finally after everybody done run down there, they fire up the fire truck sitting there for just that purpose and drive out there, and then they hose down that whole bank where it all had started till it was just muddy. And then
was somebody shooting tracer rounds, or
no? There was nobody shooting tracers. It was just I think it was just all the. It was down there on that end where they were shooting that full auto, that big full auto gun. And I think there was just enough rocks and stuff that it was sparking off of something there, because it was nothing around it. It was just in the bank where where it caught on fire. But yeah, the second day there was probably half the people that was there on Saturday. On Sunday it was about half the people, and so it was a lot of fun though. So what was your favorite thing shooting while you was down there?
I don't know. Shooting that belt gun was a lot of fun. We didn't get any video of that because you were doing something when I walked up through there, and there was a guy on the gun. So I was like, I think I want to shoot this thing, because I told the guy I was going to come back and shoot it eventually. So I videotaped a guy shooting it because I knew I didn't have anybody to videotape for me when I got up there. And but man, that thing was so much fun.
Yeah.
Plus, it was suppressed. I mean, you couldn't really tell it was suppressed, but
yeah, rounds are still 2,800 feet per second or something.
Yeah, that thing was. I mean, I don't know what do you think they were giving out on the belts? Probably 30 rounds,
20, 30 rounds,
20, 30 rounds a piece, but they go so fast.
Yeah, but it's 75 cents to $1 a round.
Yeah.
it's a lot of ammo. I mean, they brought in 2 semi truckloads of ammo and clay pigeons.
Oh, them clay throws were pretty cool too. Now, you did a good job.
Of that Kel-Tec with no sight.
Kel-Tec no sight with suppressed.
That was fun though. It didn't. I was thinking that it was going to be really heavy because it's really long. I mean, even though it's a bullpup, you got that 18-inch suppressor on the front end of it. But that thing's pretty light.
That was a suppressor from Joe and the guys at Ackles Defense.
Yeah,
had put that on there, and well, I don't know if they put it on there, but it was one of their suppressors. But that thing worked great.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a boom, boom, boom. You're shooting that thing, and wasn't any smoke to speak of. Wasn't a whole lot of blowback or anything. But
I had a lot of fun shooting that Glock 19 black powder gun with the suppressor. The first shot I shot, I was like, look at all the smoke coming off this thing. Then by the time I emptied the mag on it, shooting it, There was smoke everywhere. It almost looked like a black powder gun. I don't know if it was. I don't know what kind of rounds they were shooting through it, but it was fun. It was still fun shooting it, but
Yeah, it was
I
a
never seen one smoke quite like that.
cheap ammo.
Yeah.
Cheap ammo will do that. Letting everybody shoot that free ammo, they give you the cheap stuff.
Hey, I was pleased with it. Of course, we reloaded quite a few magazines for our buddies up at Ackless
Yeah,
before we actually got to get some trigger time on it. I like, hey, I'll load mags to get to go up there and play with that thing.
yeah. We loaded mags for a couple different places. We loaded mags for Brownells there for a little bit, and for Optics Planet. What was the Optics Planet gave us the
mats, the gun mat and hat.
wearing me out.
So one of the things that they didn't see, that we didn't post it, but I was shooting a video. We were at the Brownell table
When we did what? Yeah.
We were at I think we're at the one that we edited like 3 or 4 times because you kept getting a faulty gun because we thought it was a mag.
That wasn't Brownells. That was Optics Planet.
Well, oh, an Optic Planet. That's what it was.
Yeah, they had a bunch of guns there.
Yeah,
they gave us a 300 blackout mag for a 223.
Yeah, it was exactly backwards, so it wouldn't shoot, wouldn't feed. We couldn't figure out. We're like, what is the deal? Because the way it worked, you pick the gun you want, and they would hand you the mag for it.
All right.
That way, people weren't just coming up and just wasting all their ammo the first hour they were there. Yeah. So they were kind of rationing it, just make sure they had plenty. But you pick the gun up, the guy would hand you the mag. Here you go. Knock yourself out. Troy gets one, and it was you thought you were shooting a 223, and that's what they thought you were shooting. They gave you a 223 mag.
Yeah, it was an AR shorty.
Yeah, but it was actually a 300 blackout.
Yeah, it was a 300 blackout.
So
it was a 300 black. It was a 223, but they handed me a 300 blackout mag.
Right.
Yeah, and so we can go to the battery. I'm like, something's wrong here. So I ejected it out. I thought, and I mean, it went all the way to the point where I pulled the trigger, nothing happened. But it was just barely out of battery. I mean, just barely. I mean, you just had to really look. They're like, oh, I tried to forward assist. Nope. Ejected around out. Like, I'm like, what in the world? And they said, oh, that's a 223. It's not a 300 blackout. So they gave me the right one. Because a 223 would have shot in a 300 blackout.
Right.
It would ding, 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 ding. It would have shot. Well, I assume it would have if it locked up, but I think the head spacing on it would have allowed it to.
It may have,
because it's small enough. I think it would do it, but I don't know.
But it took a couple mags before they really.
Yeah,
I didn't look at it. I wasn't paying attention to it. I was just loading her up, and going.
I wasn't thinking about being a 300 blackout. I mean, and they didn't have it. They didn't. They handed me the mag, so I assume they knew what it was for. So
plus, it was.
I said, "Well, shoot this one." They hand me a mag. Like, okay.
Plus, it was funny at lunchtime, which they had a good lunch.
Oh yeah,
and barbecue and stuff. But for that hour, everybody was at lunch. It was suppressor only shooting.
Yeah.
So it was all quiet until them guys got cranking on that suppressed gun that was on the tripod.
Yeah,
that belt fell. Even though it was suppressed, it wasn't.
It was supersonic. It was supposed to be subsonic suppressed. They were shooting supersonic suppressed, which doesn't work. Yeah.
It was thumping, man. That thing was so cool.
At 408, they were shooting, man. That thing was just punching holes in that gong. Did you see it?
Yeah, they had a gong that was probably, I don't know what,
36 inches probably.
Yeah, I was gonna say 2 foot or better across.
It was 24 to 36 inches, somewhere in that range. I mean, it was 100 yards away, and it looked like that big. Yeah. So I'm assuming it's 2-3 feet diameter, but it was rocking that thing. It was swinging that gong way back every time, and then it started having holes show up in it.
It was a AR 500 still. I think is what they said they were shooting.
Yeah,
is what it was, and it was just blowing through it. That thing, man, when they pulled the trigger on it, it was just. I mean, you could feel the concussion come off of it.
And we were 50 yards away.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were within like 8 or 10 yards of that, you could feel the wave off of it.
I want to go down and shoot it, but I thought they weren't giving away ammo. You had to bring your own ammo for that one.
No, you had to be one of their friends. I think they
Oh,
only
that
handed
was
out like 30 rounds because the stuff's like $15, $16 a round or something. I mean, did you see it? It's like that
huge.
tall. It was like 4.5, 5 inches tall, and had a bullet. I think it was a 340 grain bullet, something like that.
I never did see the. I mean, I saw the gun down there, but I never did notice what kind it was.
It's
Was
a
it American?
408 Chevron. I forget what it's called. I didn't write it down, but it's one of those super go fast cartridges.
It's a
Big old
beast.
heavy bullet, man.
It's a beast.
It's an elephant gun.
Our buddy 22 Plinkster was there, and he had one of the bullets for it. He
Yeah,
had to go down and shoot it.
yeah.
He said it was a lot.
He shot one, got to keep one.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty slick. So yeah, it's if you guys don't know what the Rocky Veteran 8888 Range Day is, it's like every guy that's got a YouTube channel that has anything to do with guns. Well, not every guy that Eric and Brandy invite,
yeah.
they have to know like who you are. You have to,
All the cool guys.
yeah, all the cool guys. We're just barely on the fringe of that, man. We didn't have so many cool guy friends. We probably wouldn't get to go, but
We have
like
a few.
all of our friends are there, and so we get invited, and we appreciate it.
So
And
it tells we need to have 22 Plinkster back on the show again.
man, that dude is busier than I don't know what.
He
I was.
is.
He had to leave. He was like there for like till 2 or 3 o'clock. He had to go jump on a plane to go to a 22 rimfire match in Missouri, and then he had to fly somewhere the next day. And he's all over the place. He works for Henry, pretty much doing all their TV, the Henry TV stuff, and then he does a lot of 22 stuff with Quartzen and all those guys, and then Federal. He works for Federal too, and I think someone else. But I mean, that dude is all the time on the road. He wants to come on. It's not that he's shunning us. He's just a busy dude. He's got contracts. He's paying his bills.
He does. He showed up with a bunch of Henry rifles too. So
Mm-hmm.
they,
He was at the Henry booth the whole time.
yeah. Let's see what else. What was your favorite thing that you shot while you were up there?
I don't know. I guess probably that Keltec was probably the most fun. That KSG with the suppressor on, even though it didn't have sights, but I was able to hit a lot of those clays with it. I enjoyed shooting. Um, they had a fully suppressed MP5 I got to shoot.
Oh yeah.
That
Oh
was a
yeah.
lot of fun. I enjoyed shooting that. And what else was there? I used to like shooting the Henrys. I shot the Henry last year a bunch. They kept Henry ammo, so I kept shooting it at 45-70 government. I was ringing that gong out there at 100 yards. I had some plates out there. It's probably about 6 inches, and the other one was like 12 inches, steel plates. I was rocking them things pretty good. I enjoy shooting the old lever actions, and I enjoy shooting those pistols, those imports. What was that? We talked about that. We did that one video with that guy. Masterpiece Arms or something like that. Was it Masterpiece?
Was the one with the 1911s?
Yeah, the competition guns.
Yeah.
I enjoyed shooting those. They were nice guns. They were the hot guns.
Yeah.
The ones got the sun on them. I don't know. I enjoyed all of it.
I tell you, the of all the videos we posted from up there, that crazy one with that from American Tactical, was it American Tactical?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, American Tactical, I think is what it was. That had the AR that was in a 410 shotgun
Yeah,
platform. Man, the likes we got on that video, it was going nuts. People were watching. Everybody wanted one, and
I know, it's crazy. Like, who are these people that want who want 410 ARs? I never had heard of them before.
that thing was fun though. It
was
shot.
all right. I didn't have as much luck with it as you did.
No, you didn't.
We never posted the video. I did. I think we had like 7 failures to fire and feed and jams and stuff. And it was, it was hot. I mean, it was really hot out there. And 410 shells are not the most strong items and
No.
plastic magazines and 90-degree sweltering heat. Uh, and everybody's shooting the thing all the time. Is if you're gonna fail, that's where you're gonna fail at.
Yeah, it was getting gunked up and dirty, but we first walked down through there before they actually before the range opened, so you could go shoot stuff.
Yeah,
We saw that guy. And we were looking at that 410, and he was telling us about it. He's like, "Oh yeah," he said, "You want to shoot it? Come back later, and when the range opens up." And so we made our way back down there. Of course, he was right next to the guys from CMMG
yeah,
that had the go fast guns, and
yeah, the loud guns.
yeah, they were shooting. They're short anyway. They were SBRs, not suppressed at all, and they were just wide open, fully automatic. That one I was shooting was 7.62 by 39, and man, that thing was so much fun to shoot.
Yeah, Jomo had a puff there. Yeah, full auto puff. It wasn't suppressed. It was loud.
Yes.
I said, "This is what puff sounds like. I know that sound anywhere." Of course, I don't know what full auto wink, but
Yeah,
I know it when I see it.
we
But,
know what it sounds like now, though.
yeah, that 458 SOCOM full auto. Did you see that one?
Yes.
That was cool, but it was like, boom, and it's done. I think I was like 8 or 9 rounds in that big mag. It was like, boom.
That's like Joe and those guys let me. I shot that AK that they had that was suppressed, and that thing was fun to shoot too.
Yeah, that one was the integrally suppressed one. It looks like a square gun.
Yeah.
I wanted to shoot that. I never did get back down there to shoot it. He puts it up whenever he goes out and shoots it, and he throws it back to his case and closes it up.
I know.
I saw him down there with it on Sunday, and I was like, "Hey, I like shoot that." He said, "I'm ammo, man." They had a slow mo camera down there at the very end, so anybody wanted to have their gun shot on slow motion. I mean, it was like I don't remember how many frames per second it was, but you could actually see the bullet coming out of the gun. That's how slow it was. You can see the bullet twisting out of the gun, and they had the guys sitting up there shooting. So you're seeing the cheeks flopping around in the wind, the shock wave roll up the arm, and the bolt slide back and then shout. It was pretty neat. But he was up there shooting that full auto with that, and you can see the gases escaping out of the ports and stuff. It was pretty slick. But they'd set up a tent out there on the range so they could get the light, or they could see, get a good film of it. So they had these mirrors and everything, angling light in there, and had these lights on it. I think my family's home. I hear stomping upstairs. But that was that. So the next big thing, I'm going to SHOT Show. I got my invitation. I got my first invitation on Monday about 2:00, and then I got another invitation for Range Day at about 4:00, and then I got another invitation Tuesday morning about 8:00. Exclusively, you're getting a pre-invitation invite. I'm like, I've already gotten 2 others before. So I sent an email up to the guy that's in charge of that. I said, "Hey man, I got 3 different invitations to 3 different emails." I said, "I know you guys don't want multiple passes out there, but can we combine all these into one? Because I already signed up under this other thing and got a confirmation." And he goes, "Oh, okay." And so they work on it and get it straightened out. They said, "We don't have you down for Range Day." I was like, "I got Range Day pass." I forwarded them the email. I goes, "Oh, I guess we do." So they got it straightened out. They had it on the wrong email. But so I'm set for Range Day. I already got my condo reserved, and we'll stay in the same place I stayed last time. It's walking distance, but I'll probably take a Uber or a cab or something, because it's just, you do enough walking at the show.
I would love to be out there and go to it, but that's right in the middle of shooting ducks in the face. So I'll be doing that. I'll be down in Arkansas, and you'll be in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go to Las Vegas for anything else. I mean, that would be the only reason I go to Las Vegas is for SHOT Show. I wish they'd move it to another city, because I hate Vegas. I mean, I hate Vegas.
Hey, did they said it last year that you couldn't carry?
They say that.
The show?
They say that a lot. of things about where you can carry and can't carry.
Pull the Ted Nugent on them. I've never been in a gun-free zone.
Yeah, they say things like that a lot, but I never saw anybody get patted down or frisked or anything. Well, I did see one guy get patted down, frisked, but he looked like he needed it. But he looked like he's from Jersey or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he probably didn't have no guns on him. He already took them all.
Yeah.
So let's see what else. So you want to talk about our buddy Zeke for a minute?
Oh yeah. Zeke got to release. You guys know Zeke Stout. He used to be with Talking Lead. Then he did a radio show with Nashville AM show, and he's got a new gig. He's on the what channel is it? I just
Discovery Channel.
Discovery Channel. I didn't type that down. Discovery Channel. November the 2nd is the premiere show. It comes on right after Gold Rush. It's called Master of Arms, and he asked that we let everybody know about the Master of Arms show coming out November 2nd, right after Gold Rush on the Discovery Channel, and you can see him on there, and you'll know why we call him Squatch.
Yeah. After we had saw him up there at Range Day, he was telling us about it. I mean, they had made it public, but it was pretty cool. But after that, I started seeing commercials constantly on Discovery Channel for the new show with him on there and stuff. So I can't wait to watch it. It looks like it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, and in Zeke's defense, he is not as fat as he looks on TV. Doug an hour, but he's not.
We're not TV material.
We're faces for radio, I tell you. But Zeke's a cool guy. We like him. So Zeke is who got me into this gig here at God and Guns. For you all that don't know, I went down because I went to Nashville after Sandy Hook. So after Sandy Hook happened, everybody was going to their state capitals and marching and said, hey, no, we're not going to ban guns because of this. This is not our fault that some crazy kid on psychotropic drugs goes into a school and shoots it up and all the other weird stuff around that happens. But we won't go there now. But so we all go and are saying, we shouldn't have to do this. And so I had become friends quasi through to 22 Plinkster because I had some guns he wanted to shoot. I had some things he wanted to shoot, and we were messaging back and forth. And then also with Hickok 45, I was talking to them about I went to Frankfurt, and he said, you need to come to Nashville to ours. He said, you live close enough. He said, you're in Glasgow there. You're close enough to Tennessee. Come on down and come to ours in Nashville. I was like, well, if I can get off, I will. And so I took the day off and went down there, and I met up with John and Hickok and with 22 Plinkster, and I'm using their stage names because they don't really give out their real names. Right. They don't want people coming to their house. So met those guys down there, and they said, hey, we're going to lunch. You want to go with us? And I ran into, who else I ran into? I ran into
Marty. Well,
no, I ran into Gunblast. Quinn, Jeff Quinn, and Bo Quinn. I knew both of those guys because I'd sent them a bulletproof backpack my brother had made, and so I sent him one of those to test out. And he was there, so I ran those guys, talked to them for a while, and so Hickok and 22 Plinkster said, "Hey, we're going to go have lunch. We'll go with us." And I was like, "Okay." And this big goofy guy come along with him and showed up, and I was like, who are you? I'm Zeke. And so I go into this restaurant. Of course, Hickok 45 is like 6'9". John's like 6'8", 6'9", somewhere in that range, his son. Zeke's like 6'7", 6'8". And 22 Plinkster's like 6'7", 6. Yeah. And so, and here I walk in, 6'1.5", 2, somewhere in that range. I'm looking up like, I feel like a little kid. I'm talking to him, looking up at him. And so we go have lunch, and I was like, so tell me about who you are, Zeke, because I knew all the other guys, but I didn't know who he was. And he said, I do a podcast called Talking Lead. You ever heard of it? Like, no. And they just, I mean, they've been out like 3 weeks or something. Something like 3 or 4 weeks or something. They've been out. And we got to talking, and he said, "Hey, you might like this show come out just recently called God and Guns." He said it's on the Farms Radio Network too, because Talking Lead was on Farms Radio Network too. And so he introduced me to he and Marty. I didn't meet Marty that day because Marty got lost or something and couldn't find his way there. And so, so I didn't meet Marty that day, but then he invited me to come down to Nashville with him. Not Nashville, down to Houston for the NRA show in Houston. That was like a couple months later, and be their video guy, be their video camera guy. And I was like, well, I got free time, so I went down there and I got introduced to more of the FRN guys, got introduced to Jake, and got introduced to some other people. That's where I met Ron Bellin and John Bellin, his brother, and the other guy used to be on the show with him. Can't remember his name right now. He's an ex-football player. So that's how I got all into it. Zeke tagged me into all those people. So I got Zeke to blame for being here 5 years later, 5.5 years later, whatever it was. But no, he's a good guy. I really like Zeke and Marty. We're good friends.
Yeah, they're good guys.
All right. So, yeah, I was talking to Doug before the show. We need to have us a God and Guns get together sometime. So maybe this next year we can figure out if there's enough people that can travel to either Kentucky or Georgia and have I don't know, cookout and shoot guns and hang out together and talk for a while or something like that. We'll have to have all of our Patreon guys will get the first invites, and then after Patreon, we'll invite if we got enough venue space, we'll invite more people. So we'll have to try to work that into our schedules next year. Where's NRA is going to be in Indianapolis next year? Is that right?
Yes.
I need to get a hotel room or a condo. Something. The condo I'll get cheaper than the hotel room now. Depends on how long I'm going to be there. All right. Well, that's all I got. What do you got? Anything else?
No, I think we're good on that one. It was we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, we look forward to it next year. You know, the biggest thing about the thing is not really the shooting. It's just hanging out with people you know and meeting the vendors there. The guys from Brownells are awesome. The guys from Henry are awesome. The guys from Aquila, was it Aquila? The guys that make the little mini Aquila. Aguila. Okay, I'm not Mexican, so I can't speak that stuff. So no hablo español, and so we enjoy getting down there. Go ahead.
I did get to shoot the while we were up there at the Keltec booth playing around.
Mm-hmm.
You were shooting the KSG, and I got to shoot the Sub 2000 on steroids.
Oh yeah, we got that on video, didn't we?
Yeah, we did get that on video. That was fun too.
We did. I got to shoot the that forward ejecting 308. What's it? RFB, something like that.
Yeah. No.
RFB, something like that. It's a 308 bullpup. Ejects the shells out the front.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. That dude kicks a little bit. It's pretty lightweight.
Them Keltecs are some cool little guns, man.
Yeah, I enjoy shooting. Enjoyed them. All right, so we got Patreon guys that help us out. We really appreciate it. Tim Kim, John Odlin, Steve Stone, everybody Steve, Shane Copeland, and Chuck Shettle. And so we appreciate you guys. And I think there's another guy I need to include on here. If I've left you off, I apologize. We appreciate these are like the top contributors are giving big chunk of change, and so we appreciate them. That's why we mention them every week. And if you want to help out the show, you can join Patreon. You just go to patreon.com/gun-guns. Patches and stickers. Still got lots of patches and stickers. I have not printed shirts because I didn't want to throw out a big chunk of change for a bunch of shirts, and I have not got anybody to say they will print them by demand yet. So that's where that's at. Other ways you can help out the show, you can join the NRA. Right now is a good time to join the NRA to help. Guys, you need to go vote. Go vote early. Go vote often. So
exactly.
Yeah, the other side's doing it, so let's do it too. But go vote and then join the NRA. Help I know NRA is not perfect. I know there's a lot of stupid things they're agreeing to and doing. And if they'd move out of the Northeast and down here to the South, we'd straighten them boys out. But
Yeah.
Join the NRA. That's the best thing we got going. Join the Second Amendment Foundation. Join the whatever other gun rights organization you think's best. But if you do join the NRA, please use our link, because that way we get a little bit of love and they will know that we exist. DeVore. We ran to the guys at DeVore Optics Planet, told them how much I had a love or hate relationship with them. I love their products. My wife hates them, because I buy stuff there all the time.
I know, right?
But it's if you have not been to DeVore, use our link, please. And if you sign up and if you end up buying something, they'll send us a little bit of love. Laser Activated Shot Reporter, use the coupon code GANDG to get 10% discount. If you don't know what Laser Activated Shot Reporter is, go to lasrapp.com and you can find out. Hoplite Armor, our buddy Lyman Bishop has got every kind of armor you would ever need, body armor, level 3 plus armor, helmets and shields, and he's got everything. Check it out. Use our link on our show notes and we'll get a little bit of love. Zija. If you want to know about Zija, stuff I use to keep me moving and keep me out of pain, I use it all the time. I use not all the Zija products, there's a ton of them, but I use a lot of the Zija products. They've got the oils now and all kinds of stuff, and food supplements and workout enhancements. And if you want to know more about it, go to guidingguns.myzija, myzija.com. And then you got the next couple.
All right. Crossbreed holsters. Troy and I have told you, I carried my gun. Troy carried his gun all weekend up at range day and never had a problem with it. I drove up. Troy drove down from Kentucky and we met up. And the most comfortable holsters you're going to put on, I promise you, you should go check these guys out. Troy and I both carrying the Super Tuck Deluxe, and they just work. They're comfortable. They've once you get them broke in a little bit, they just form and fit, and they don't get hot. You know, just face it. If you got an uncomfortable holster, you're not going to wear it. You're not going to carry your gun.
Right.
So spend a little bit of extra money. Go get something nice. And check these guys out at crossbreedholsters.com and use our promo code when you check out, GNG, and you'll get a 10% discount just for listening to Troy and me.
How about that?
How about that? So next one is Axelson Tactical. And if I'm not mistaken, I think today is Jeff's birthday.
I think it was earlier.
It
was yesterday or the day before, I think.
It may have been yesterday.
Corky's was last week.
Yeah. So anyway, happy belated birthday, Jeff. Axelson Tactical, go check these guys out. You saw my gun. You saw Troy's gun that we got from them. Outstanding folks. They make a quality rifle. They do custom pistols, knives. You've heard me talk about the backpack that they got that converts down. You can convert it into a shooting mat. It's a rifle case that folds up into a backpack. They got a lot of cool stuff out there, and Jeff and those guys are just killing it right now with some good products. But go check them out. It's axelsontactical.com or axelsonusa.com. And also use our promo code God and Guns, and Jeff will give you 10% discount also for just listening to the show.
And that's a massive amount on some of those things.
Yeah. When you're talking an expensive gun, 10% is a pretty good discount.
Change, yeah. Antirius Alliance is a group of like-minded individuals, veterans, first responders, patriots that have all come together to promote each other and to promote the different veteran charities that they all give towards. And so if you would like to know more about Antirius Alliance, just Google AntiriusAlliance.com or just type in AntiriusAlliance.com or .org. I can't remember which. Guiding Guns is a life member, and we will be having Casey and some of the guys on later and some shows coming up to talk about some new products they've got, some new businesses that have joined the Antirius Alliance group. So check those guys out. All right, NRA Armed Citizen. What you got?
All right, Armed Citizen comes to us from Tacoma, Washington today. Armed Citizen Extra. A teenage Good Samaritan who took it upon herself to check on a neighbor after a domestic violence incident inadvertently found herself in the middle of an ugly situation when she discovered her neighbor's ex-boyfriend in her own home. Realizing that the power had been cut, the teenage girl armed herself with a 22 caliber pistol before stumbling onto the intruder. The man, armed with a knife, told her that she was going to die before stabbing at her multiple times and slicing her arm. The teen fought back, kicking the man, and fired at him, which ran him off. The alleged perpetrator was later booked into jail for assault, burglary, domestic violence, and assault, and other charges.
How
So
about attempted murder?
I know, right? I mean, he told her flat out he was going to kill her. So
That's attempted murder.
yeah, and that comes to us from the News Tribune, Tacoma, Washington,
Or if drugs are involved in that.
probably.
Oh, well. Anything else, Doug, before we wrap this thing up?
No, that's about it. We had a fun time.
Yeah, get caught up. Both of you and I are extremely tired, so we were talking about how tired we were before we started the show tonight, and so we hope we have kept you guys entertained, and look forward to talking to y'all soon again. We're gonna wrap it up, so send your feedback to Troy at GuidingGunsPodcast.com, or
Doug at GuidingGunsPodcast.com.
please tell your friends about us. Leave us an iTunes review, like the guy from Massachusetts. I appreciate it.
Yep.
And like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Guiding Guns Podcast. You know, Instagram has stayed at 1,300 people forever. I'll get 20 or 30 new likes in a week, and I'll lose 20 or 30 likes in a week. Facebook's the same thing. I'll get 30, 40 likes in a week, and I'll lose 20, 30 likes a week. I don't know what is going on, but it is weird. Just going to let that lay out there. Subscribe to us.
Filtered.
You mean filter, we shadow banned or something. Search for us, subscribe to us on YouTube. Yeah. We do have actually a YouTube channel. I think it's youtube.com/Guiding Guns Podcast or Guiding Guns Pod. They actually gave us a thing. I need to put that link in here. I'm sorry.
We got a real name now?
We got a real name. They actually said, hey, we're going to give you a real name instead of this 65 character long.
Hey.
So you can follow us on Twitter at Guiding Guns Pod, which there's not much over there. You can search for us on Instagram, but they're going to ban us and shadow us. You search for us on MeWe if you want to trade guns. If we disappear, we'll have a presence on MeWe. We'll get up and rolling and figure out what we're going to do. Mm-hmm. Website is GuideGunsPodcast.com. And so until next time, Doug, have a blessed week.
And keep your guns close, but keep your Bible closer.
Night.
Night, guys.
Anybody else left over here? John Atkinson. I can't talk tonight. John Atkinson, Mike, Matthew Smith, Mimi McD. Is that your wife? And Random Box. All right. Good night, guys. We'll talk to you later.